Cotner Funeral Home team is continuously appreciative of those who serve within the Reynoldsburg community. This year, we even created a documentary based on our local Truro Township Fire Department and all the sacrifices they go through each and every day. Today, however, we show even more support for heroes who give their time and energy to make our world a better place. This day, September 11th, we want to remind everyone watching to never forget. Never forget the tragedy which took place 18 years ago. Never forget the men and women who valiantly took the call to action to help those in danger. The Cotner family wants to remind our community about this day and pay our respects by placing flags around our home. This year, we wanted to ask the heroes in our own city what today means for them and why they continue to serve to keep our community safe.
I'm Joe Starling, and I'm a firefighter paramedic.
Nikki Riley, I'm a detective with Reynoldsburg Police Department.
So 9/11 is why I became a fireman. In fact, I bet most guys, or firemen my age, would probably say the same thing. It's just one of those events you'll never forget. You know, even though it's been 18 years ago. For me, I was a freshman in college, first class ever, when 9/11 happened. I don't even think the professor started speaking yet. And like the tragedy was probably, it was like too much to comprehend. But I think like the selflessness on display was something that I think stuck with me. And even though I went on to do some teaching and coaching after college, I knew like this is what I probably end up doing, and that was a lot to do with 9/11. Yeah.
You want to have an entire career in law enforcement, you have to do it wholeheartedly, or it's not the job for you. You can't just be here to collect a paycheck. You have to really value what you do and what you can provide for others.
The selflessness on display. In my case, like when I graduated, I had several friends, join the military during relatively, peacetime. And, I'm a freshman in college, and a lot of these guys I see, going off to war now. And that weighs on you, for sure. So, you pick something where you think, what can I do to help?
That's such a big part of us, such a big part of our country's history. And, the thing that I always remember probably the most is, despite maybe the unrest in the country at that time or in present time, just how we came together as Americans on that day and the time period immediately following. And that's something that I've never experienced since then, and it's something that I don't think that you can compare it to anything unless you've lived through it. And I think that's something that you will pass those stories for sure down to your kids, to your grandchildren, to your great-grandchildren for generations to come, of just what our country went through and how we stood together at that. It was really a terrible time.
The Cotner Funeral Home family would like to say thank you to our active duty military and veterans, our firefighters and police officers, both in our community and around the world. We thank you for being brave when we're fearful, for being willing to risk your safety for us, and for being there when we need you the most. Also, we would like to thank the families of these brave men and women. We cannot thank you enough for sacrificing the valuable family time and sharing your heroes with us. Today is a day we remember and reflect. We remember those horrible images and the lives lost. But it's also a day for celebrating the people who keep us safe. It's a day that reminds us that as a nation, we can come together and take on any challenges. Today serves as a symbol that out of despair and tragedy, we can find hope and love. Thank you.